September the 27th, 2019. You're looking at the real-time solar wind speed, and this is coming from the Discover satellite. It's like an early warning system between us and the sun. Solar wind speed has jumped. It has almost doubled. At the last point on here, you'll see it is over 600 kilometers per second. That's how it's measured. And guys, you're approaching 1.5 million miles per hour at that speed. And what happens when you have a sudden rise like that with an impact, then you start seeing pressure on our tectonic plates. That means earthquakes, and they're already starting to happen. And here's what we've got so far. But this solar storm is going to last for the next couple of days, and they didn't predict the full impact until tomorrow. Now, we got a 6.0, 96 kilometers south of Raoul Island, New Zealand. You've got one down in South America. What we're dealing with, again, tectonic pressure, and this comes, again, from solar wind at these high speeds striking the Earth's magnetic shields. That's the whole lifeblood of the planet is the sun. Without it, it's over. But grand solar minimum, shields weak, that's what happens. These are interesting now. You're talking about New Madrid fault. We got two 3.0s there. You got one over in Oklahoma. But you see a lot in the Oklahoma area because of fracking, guys. But not in the New Madrid fault right there. So we're seeing pressure in unusual places. Now, this solar wind speed is predicted to jump another 100 kilometers per second by tomorrow. Here's what we're looking at. This is the magnetopause. It represents the Earth's shields. We have satellites that orbit the Earth that gives us this information. Notice your timestamp. Also, you have what's called a standoff point, guys. Notice down at the bottom, 12 is the average. When you've got calm solar winds, not a lot happening. CERN is turned off like it has been since last year. But as we advance, notice your timestamp again through today, you're going to see an impact coming here, and that was that rise that you saw right here. Let me back it up. Right there at 1746 Universal Time, there's the impact that you saw when the solar wind chart jumped. Now, again, this is going to increase. This is kind of the first wave, and they've issued a geomagnetic storm warning, not a watch. It says a large hole in the sun's atmosphere is facing Earth and spraying solar wind in our direction. Estimated time of arrival, September 28th. This is one of the largest that I've seen, guys. Look at this dark area. And if you're not familiar with these coronal holes, it's an opening in the atmosphere of the sun, and the solar wind is streaming straight at our planet. Now, normally you see these magnetic lines that are the loops across the rest of the surface. Those capture the solar wind and ground it back into the sun. It's just a big magnetic loop. But when these openings happen, energy is released into the inner atmosphere, and all the planets feel it. We are facing it, and it's still incoming. Says the NOAA forecasters say G1 and G2 class geomagnetic storms are possible when this gaseous material reaches Earth. And guys, you know what's a shame is with all the technology that they have, and I've been telling them for 6 years, that this causes quakes, the scientists will not admit it. They will not say the impact from the solar winds, from coronal mass ejections, or solar flares causes earthquakes. Why? What goes against their narrative to where they can't change a few pages in a textbook? Something's up with that. I don't know why. I've never understood it. But you guys, either they're naive or so trained and disciplined that they can't break through that. I don't know what it is. I know some of them are aware of it, and I guess maybe they're afraid to bring up the Earth may be round instead of flat. Oh my God. But anyway, guys, a little small rant there, but we've known it for years. Every one of you that watch this channel have known what happens, and they can issue a geomagnetic storm warning, but they won't do what I'm doing and issue an earthquake warning and a watch. But I'm doing it, guys. Pay attention. Also, remember, The Alexa Pure is down to 159, but it's only lasting one more week to October 4th or until supplies run out. And that happens with our folks at My Patriot Supply. But the link's below. So if you're thinking about doing it, go ahead and get you one. That's the best price. It's the best water filter there is. Guys, and what they've done is, this is National Preparedness Month. So until October 4th, 20% off on everything. So you'll see this at $199, but when you check out, you'll see it changes and puts your 20% in down to $159. Best price ever on this product. This is a heads up, guys. Be prepared. Remember, no matter how much prep work you've done, how many means of defense or survival you have, without water you won't last but 3 days. With water, you can go without food 3 weeks. The rule of 3. Think about it, 3 days. Make sure you have a fresh supply of water or a way to filter it. Heads up, be safe.